Hello, beautiful people. Hey, this is Mark with markslittle.coinshop.com. I went to my bank yesterday to get rid of all those pennies that I had in jars, and so I came up with some extra money, right? So, I went to ask her for some more boxes of either the the Lincoln cents, or anything that she had available, and she didn't have anything. But she did have this available in her drawer. So I says, well, let me have it all. And then I see that there's some that are bank rolled, and then there are some that are customer rolled. And so I want to do a comparison. Which one did I? Yes, there's more coins on the bottom down here. But anyhow, I wanted to see what I'm trying to get at here is every time I go to the bank, I get bank rolls. Okay, I don't usually get to see customer wrapped rolls, and so I want to see if there's anything better in the customer wrapped rolls versus the bank wrapped rolls. Anyhow, let's go get started. So, be right back. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start with the bank rolls first, and I'm not going to go individual or be searching up anything on them. I'm going to be looking for some older nickels in the nickel situation, older dimes, anything that has silver in it with the quarters and the dimes. And also when we go to the cents, we're going to look for, of course, wheatbacks, coppers, whatever we can find in there. But I'm just going to do a quick overview, and as soon as I get done, then I'll go back and look under the microscope and see if there's anything exciting in the rolls as far as varieties or anything like that. So when we get, I'm just going to slide this over there, and 1961, older, newer. Do you know that here in San Antonio, Texas, yes, I do use my credit card a lot, and I don't necessarily have, we got a 94, that's no good. Anyhow, so I usually use my credit card when I purchase stuff. In 1964, of course, we'll find a million of those. And so what I'm getting at here is I have not had a 2025 coin yet, except for those that I took out of that those mint sets for the 2025 mint sets and proof set. But it's kind of like, I haven't even seen one. It's kind of odd. But like I said, I use a credit card a lot, so I don't get change per se when I go anywhere. So I guess we can say that was my fault. Anyhow, let's keep on looking here, see if we can come up with some older looking nickels, something that would be, like I say, worth writing home about. But I really doubt we're going to find anything in here that is going to be totally awesome to look at. Again, another 1964, and again a Denver. The other one was also a Denver. I'm just looking for older coins and not so much as looking for varieties here. And now I don't have any rolls of nickels by customer wrapped, but I don't have any pennies cents that were wrapped by a bank, so kind of equals out. Like I said, we're just going to zip through these as fast as possible. $23. Like I said, I'm not seeing a lot lot of anything exciting. Kind of nice looking color on it. Looks, sorry to say, it kind of looks like a skeleton there. That's kind of scary. Interesting. But we will find all kinds of weird stuff, won't we? Okay, moving onwards. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a label for that. Say it's the Thomas Jefferson skull look. I don't know. Anyhow, I'm just joking, of course. There's a 59 Denver. And when you're looking through the nickels, of course, you're looking for, pre-64. Not that you're going to find any silver in there, except for if you did the war years for World War II. But there's just some of the nickels have varieties, but I've really never found much in nickel hunting. So, I mean, like I said, here's a 1959. That's our oldest one. Okay, the last roll of nickels. And then we'll get the whole table cleaned up here. Mm-hmm. 78. $1970s. Huh. Awesome. And like I say, I always take it off to my my light magnifier off to the side there. So if I disappear for a little bit, you know where I went to. There's a 1962 Denver. So we're not really finding anything worthwhile. A 1960. Hey, that's my birth year, Denver. Awesome. 59. Yeah, like I said, I'm not seeing much here. Okay, let me clean all this up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's get these not dimes here going. Again, it's just one tube. I'm not seeing any silver. Nice looking coin. Okay, well, I'm not seeing much. That one sure went through a beat up. Yeah, sorry to say, no silver. Now it's making me want to get into those other rolls. So those other rolls that are wrapped by individuals, customer wrap rolls. One thing I saw or do know, that at my local church, and there's probably about, I don't know, 10 churches around me, and they play, well, here in San Antonio, instead of playing bingo, they play a game called Lotteria. It's just like bingo in the senior centers. They do 10 cent a game or 10 cent a card. And so all of this change is gathered up at the end of the games, and it's rolled up and sent back over to the bank. Now, reason why I know things like this is because I worked at the church as a business manager, and of course, as the business manager, we're not allowed to touch any of the money. But I can and did buy some change off them. So let's just say I had 20 or 50 bucks and I bought the change from them, and I would take it home and I would search it. And the best I ever found was a buffalo nickel, which I thought was pretty awesome. But anyhow, let's get into here. Like I said, I'm not going to look for any varieties of any sort. I just want to see if we got anything offhand that looks pretty cool. I can't see the die on there. Die chip. Bicentennial. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at them and trying to. Oh, we came close. 67. Proof, but no. And 69 for the oldest quarters that we have. So it'd be nice to have a whole you can see kind of like the difference between when you're looking for silver. They're going to look like this, but you'll have to make sure that the edge is solid silver on there, okay? But anyhow, you'll be able to say, oh, well, that's not what you're looking for. And the coloration similar to this one right here is going to be a silver looking coin. Well, give you a quick example. We got this Benjamin Franklin sitting right next to it now. This is the color that the older coins will turn when they lose their shine, of course. But after everybody rubbing them, beating on them, and whatever, they'll start to look like this. But like I said, that one's not silver for us, but this one here is. Okay, anyhow, we'll be right back and get started on the next ones. All right, here we go. So these are, like I said, the customer wrapped rolls. And personal opinion, I think that it would be better to get in customer wrapped rolls. Just because the customer may not know what they are holding, or they might know and they just don't turn it back in, of course. Because if they find silver, everybody knows silver is more valuable than the quarter that is showing the value here again. I'm not seeing it. So far we're not doing very well. And of course I didn't have a very large selection of anything because of the fact that it wasn't available today, or yesterday rather. And that does that one in. Oh my goodness. Well, let me get this one roll off the table for you. I know this is going to be a short hunt, but let's get into some, hopefully some wheat cents. At least some wheat cents would be nice. These are real loose in here. 24D, 63. Getting closer back there. A lot of copper in here. Like I said, there's no 2025s. All you people that live up north, you better send a couple of boxes down south so we all know what they look like and change. Like I said, none. Let's go to the next one. These are really loose wrappings here. Ooh, there's a shiny one on top. Are we going to get lucky? 24D. Coppers. A lot of coppers in here, and so far. You can also tell the difference between like the coppers. Look at the toning on here. Yes, that's a brand new 2024 coin, but even one that's, well, geez, I'll never be able to find a good one for you to match up. But anyhow, you can tell that the copper's there instead of the zinc, and of course this one's, like I said, a newer coin. But anyhow, you can just tell that way. 24 again. I'm gonna have to look up what's happening on the 24s. I don't keep up with a lot of the varieties and stuff that go on. I'm still not even sure why I want to keep copper. Here's 1959, the first year. And it is 1959 Denver, so the first year of the memorial cent. And like I said, some coppers, yeah, nothing really old except for that 1959, which is, like I said, I like doing coins that are 1964 prior, especially, of course, the silver coins, the dollars, the halves, the quarters, the dimes, and of course wartime nickels. Okay. 1992. That's a pretty nice looking card in there. What do they call it? Pretty as penny. Pretty penny. Pretty penny. All right. Anyhow, sorry, I'm insulting y'all's intelligence, but also giving you clues as to mine, aren't I? I'm sorry. Sometimes you just gotta do things. Here's that infamous 1982, and it's the straight 2, so it's not what we're looking for. 67, 83, 83. Dang, almost. Yeah, see, like I said, I'm not getting any 2025s, that is. Okay. 2024. 81. 73. So, as far as copper is concerned, well, we're definitely getting coppers. Like I said, I'll go back and look through all these later. But I was asking why should I keep the copper? We're not allowed to melt it down because it's U.S. currency. To make any actual real value, You're going to need at least 100 pounds. That'd be what, $400 worth. That's a lot of it's a lot of coinage to be just sitting in a jar, somewhere in your house, just because it has a copper value, which I understand it's copper. Let's see if this one is it. 2024. Wow, it's not 2024. Yeah, so I'm kind of, y'all leave in the comments of whether or not you would collect copper, and if you do, what are you going to collect it for, and what do you think is a good number to have in pounds? Because like I said, it's like what, $4 a pound or something like that. I'm not seeing no wheat cents at all here. No 2025s. 1980 coppers. 82. Let's see if this 82. Nope, not the one we want. All right, the grand finale. Let's see if we can get anything. Silver would be nice. A mercury would be really nice. And let's go. $1984. Yep. Nothing. It's still looking for that elusive 25. 24 is looking, look at that one. That's a really nice looking dime there for 2024. Same with the other one next to it. Not looking like no winner today in that group. Oh, maybe this one's special, huh? It's all different, rolled up on the end there. Okay. Anything looking special? 2024. The 3s and the 5s get my eyeballs. That was a 2023. Or do we have a problem with us coin roll hunters that actually look through every coin? It is a possibility. Who knows how many people are out there searching through coin rolls. And then like I said, I just took mine all back, all my Lincoln cents that I had, and somebody else will be getting them later on after they get all rolled up. Yeah, no silver. That 2023 dime did look really nice. Nothing in there. There has to be something. I guess there doesn't have to be anymore, right? I think we've done searched them all, guys. 94. Eyes said 64. I thought, no. It just doesn't look toned right. I said, none of them really do 76. Denver. There's got to be one nice looking coin so we can say that we did this for a reason. I know 99% of y'all have already dropped off. So, oh, I didn't find nothing in the first roll. No, it might not be anything for the first 20 rolls. Goodness. Well, we only have the one roll left, so might as well knock it out and see what we got. Or do we get the big skunk on this one? $19.65. Almost made it. One more year, we could have had silver. Like I said, I don't use my silver coins as part of my silver stacking setup, I guess you could say. Pretty much I do just generic rounds for silver, because, you know, those walking, what are they, the Flying Eagles, whatever they got going on, the Eagle series, you know, you pay twice the amount for the coin, and it's like, why? It's not even worth that much silver. Anyhow, hey, gentlemen, ladies, if there's one of you out there, I got skunked. Not a good coin in the whole lot. Sorry, people. Y'all have a blessed day. Don't forget to help an old veteran out if you even care about that now. Goodness, this was horrible. All right, I love y'all. Like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.